So today I'm going to be talking more about the new program I'm launching right now called Down to Your Wisdom. And exclusively, I'm going to be talking today about why this program is based on the seasons and the elements versus the moon, which is quite a common teacher when it comes to feminine teachings. Um, but yeah, it's something that I really worked with. Hey, love. Welcome. I was just saying that tonight's live is more about why I chose to base the program on the seasons and the elements versus the moon. Yeah. And I guess the best place to start with this particular topic is through my personal experience. So, the reason why I came away from wanting to run something based around the moon was purely because, as a woman who menstruates, I just found it was very much against my principle of trusting what's happening on the inside versus looking out. And the moon is in the sky, and I always felt this pressure to have to fit in a line with the moon at any different phases. And I'm someone who has experienced having longer cycles, irregular cycles. And so there was always something that just felt so off about trying to align with those teachings, those feminine principles with the moon, because it just didn't feel right to me. I felt like I was wrong, broken, didn't quite work for me. And whilst I still feel the effects of the lunar cycles, it's now to a point where in my life and my experience that I'm tuned into what's happening here so much that when I do look up, there is some sort of alignment versus looking out and wanting to make it work and fit what my experience is in this moment on any given day. So more about, I guess, the seasons and the elements. There's something really tactile, something really tangible about working with the elements, working with the seasons. And just to stay on the sort of topic of menstruation, there are 4 seasons inside a woman's menstrual cycle. And so they are something that we can use to navigate the inner landscape. So winter being the bleed, spring being like the follicular phase, and then you've got ovulation, which is summertime, and then all the way through to autumn, which is the luteal phase. And then we repeat. So I guess for me, that understanding of that inner landscape and how those seasons feel in my body compared to can't compare that to anyone else. How those seasons felt inside my body was something that I could begin to map, that I could begin to trust and live by. And the same thing sort of goes with the elements too. Depending on what sort of lineage you're looking at, whether it's Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, again, you can see that different elements correlate to different parts of the body, different functions of the body. But for me, it's always been about inquiring, how do those elements feel in my body? What do they correlate for me? And so I'll share that with you now. Like for me, the element of earth, which is connected to the winter, which is connected to the bleed time for those who are menstruating, really feels like my body, like my womb. That earth element for me is how that feels in those particular areas of my body. If I think about spring and air, it's all about communication and expansion and heart. And if I think about fire and summer, for me, it's like my desires, my erotic nature, my sensuality, my longing, and also like things that need to be shifted and transmuted. And then also you look at autumn. Hi, Elsa. You look at autumn as well. Like for me, that's 110% the inner terrain of the emotions and the feelings and the blood. And it all cycles back into the earth in winter again. So, like, that's my own experience. But the whole point of the program is to ask the question, well, what do those things feel like for you? What's your experience of winter? What's your experience of earth? And so on, all the way through that cycle. And the other thing about this too is that any time you need to shift something or be with something, you can call on the support of those elements, regardless of what's happening with the moon cycle. You can connect to these experiences and the wisdom of the seasons, the wisdom of the elements anytime. So you think about like the year cycle as well. So right now we can always call upon earth and call upon winter because we're in winter in the northern hemisphere. So there's bigger cycles and then smaller cycles and micro and macro. And the same thing applies to the moon. I'm not like disregarding it, but there's something in the here and now that you can connect to through particularly the elements anyway. For today, for example, I had 2 separate conversations, 2 separate women and friends, and the whole point of like this body of work that I'm sharing is to come back in. And whilst we do need each other and we do need to ask for support and go out, always my first question is, well, how do I feel? What do I think? What would be best for me? And sort of shut out everything else. So it sort of really fit in beautifully to like sort of where I'm at and why is it I'm so passionate about sharing this work. Excuse me for 1 second. That's better. And my hair's all wet, so I just had a shower. I just actually had a dance practice before jumping on this live because, again, I was feeling in my own self, there was some things that just were feeling like they were snagged or stuck or stagnant, and I needed to dance. So I called upon the elements of fire to just help me build and feel into what was being stuck, and almost like the fire element was melting through what was stuck. And lo and behold, it transforms from fire into water. And I had an experience of like tears coming out, this release coming out. So at any time you can call upon any of the elements and I guess leverage them in a way to help you be in the here and now and to help you come back to the wisdom that's buried inside of you. So I'm just going to take thanks for the little love heart there. I'm going to take a little pause, and I'd just love to know if you have any sort of questions or anything that's coming up that you resonate with. Hi there, welcome. Anything that you resonate with when it comes to the elements, when it comes to your experience of your inner seasons. If that's something that you do, it's definitely going to be part of primarily what I'm sharing with this program. And you know, the key piece really is like every woman is different. Yes, there are some like common themes and principles that can help you and information that can help you, but unless they're getting you to a place where you can really listen, you can really feel and trust implicitly what it is you're experiencing, then it kind of feels like you're having to fit into something. It feels like you have to be a version of a woman that, you know, society deems as whatever it is you're trying to fit into, trying to appeal to. And so the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because I'm so sick and tired of like people telling me what it means to be a woman, what feminine is, what it isn't. And you've got to go in for that. And this is why I'm so passionate about this work. It's like I want to hold the space for myself, for all women, that I need to come into this practice of feeling and listening and using Mother Nature and all of her wisdom to unlock what it is that sits dormant within us and let that magic come out and let that magic lead. Mm. Yeah. The other key piece is this program is for all women, whether you're menstruating or not, whether you're pregnant, childless, postpartum, mother, grandmother, menopausal, like everything, every part of a woman is welcome, all walks of life. She's welcome. And my mother is a huge influence on me, and our journey has been really, really special. And to welcome her means so much to me. And so, it's not solely going to be around women who menstruate, although that's my experience. It's why I'm sort of sharing this work. But what I can see is its ability to expand beyond that to the whole woman at all stages of her life, to make it accessible. And like, God willing, one day there are, girls before they even have their first bleed doing things like this so that they can begin to cultivate this listening and trust at a very young age. I wish I'd had this when I was, 14, 15 years old. That would have been a real dream, albeit I probably wasn't into this kind of stuff at that age. But, if there was someone holding my hand, guiding me, like, I really would have loved to have this kind of support to begin to tap into the wisdom of my body at that age. And, it's why I want it to be accessible for all women. The way the structure of the program goes is that over the 4 months, each month we'll focus specifically on one of the elements and one of the seasons. And so that will involve beginning with the immersive experience of that and some open floor sharing in that one initial session. And then the second complementary session is purely voice, purely dialogue, and again, open floor sharing and coaching. And this also continues into the community aspects, which is called The Flow. It's like a community space that I've got on a separate app and platform, not on Facebook. Who loves a Facebook group? I'm so freaking over those. So that's also where we'll be living and breathing this work. So, having chat with the women that are part of the community, sharing our experiences moment to moment, music that's moving us, sharing dance videos, photos, like whatever it is that we need to express, that will be the space that holds all of that. And I think that excites me the most, being part of several different, women's groups or witch chats. I've found so much support in just being able to show up as my true self in whatever range of the spectrum I'm experiencing on any given day. So, tying in towards what the program will look like, that's how the elements and the seasons will fit into the container and the structure. Hi there, if you've just joined, welcome. I'm going to get close to wrapping up this live soon, so you have to catch the replay. I've got a couple more days left of the early bird offer for this program, which gives you 20% off until 11:59 p.m. and GMT on Thursday evening. And so it's a great way to maximize your savings if you want to join the program. All of the content and all of the live immersive transmissions will be recorded. So if you're not based in the UK or the GMT time zone, you'll be able to catch the replays. Although I have had women from the She Flows events from all over the world joining in at any time of the day just to receive the live transmission. So that if that's something you're up for doing, you're so welcome and so encouraged to do that. But you can rest assured that everything will be recorded and given to you within the community space that I was just mentioning before. If anyone has any questions, you can pop them in the comments. If you just want to wave or anything like that, you're welcome to. It's just nice to feel your energy from there. Hi, Yasmin. um, I would love to see you again tomorrow night, where I'll be sharing a little bit more about dancer's prayer and why that element is really, I guess, essential to the program, also in a different way to the seasons and a different way to the elements, but nonetheless valuable. And again, there'll be um, one final session on the Thursday evening as well. So I would just like to thank everyone who has joined me for this live this evening. Thank you for receiving me. Thank you for your presence. And I really hope that we can connect soon. And I would just love to welcome you into Dance Your Wisdom. If you have any questions about my 4-month program, you can shoot me a DM. You can also just head to the link in my bio where I've got all of the laydown about the program listed for you there, from frequently asked questions to all of the details: when, why, how, costs, payment plans available, etc., all over in the link in my bio, so you're welcome to check that out. Early bird ends on Thursday evening. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a great evening, a great day, a great afternoon. Sending you so much love, and thank you for joining me again tonight.